Okay, the extra point try by Quentin Smith. And he's had a limber foot this afternoon. And he puts it through the uprights, and it's now 37-0. Yates with 56 seconds left to play. Well, the state championship in 5A will go to Houston Yates outright. And here is perhaps the last points of the ball game.
Boy, Braggs has seen that play before, and the pass hits Braggs in full flight. Anderson just can't get a hold of him, and Braggs is gone. Another one of those players for whom there will be some offers, you get the feeling, after the year. Sure will.
Braggs, a 160-pound senior. And you've got to think he'll be playing some college football next year.
They've got some nice players in this club. We haven't even mentioned like outside linebackers Chris Gardner and Kenneth Payne, who are key to the club. You know, the interior lineman, we showed you a shot of Garrett earlier. It's easy to concentrate on the stars, the Good and the Foster, man, and the safeties, Eaglin and Moore. But this is a fine football. I tell you what, a football recruiter could do worse than just set up shop at Houston Yates and say, every year, give me your 15 best. You could do worse than that, believe me. And in fact, there may be a couple of guys setting up shop at the very moment.
37-0, Houston Yates. And they are about to win their first state championship. They will finish the season 16-0. Odessa Permian will finish 14-1-1.
And it's over. The monkey's gone. It's officially off the back of Houston Yates.
Sider picks it up at the 25, up to the 30. And he is tripped up at the 35-yard line with now 49 seconds left to play. You know, there's been a rumor or two. You know, I hate these people who start rumors, but several, this has come from several different sources. There have been some people who have mentioned to me this past week that John Wilkins might decide to move on to other things, and that he might step down from coaching at Odessa Permian after this season. No official word, but it's come from several different people that it at least has been considered by Coach Wilkins. Gosh, we'd hate to see him leave the coaching ranks.
This is Albert Jordan, another quarterback, and
Anderson down at the 35-yard line.
And that breaks it.
That's right.
That breaks for Anderson the all-time record at Odessa Permian for catches in a season. That's number 71 for Greg Anderson on the year. He's now well over 100 yards on the day receiving. What an acrobatic young man this is. And look at the arm on Albert Jordan.
Third quarterback in the game for Permian, Albert Jordan. He winged it.
And the starter next year, you would think, because he's the junior and the seniors Harrington and Fletcher graduate. I believe we're going to get to see his arm again, Ray.
Rolling right, and this time he goes for Anderson again. That's another catch by Anderson. That's about 3 or 4 that he's made, right down in that same vicinity this afternoon, tight roping the sideline.
Anderson now up to about 123, 124 yards in receiving today. Anderson's got about 2/3 of their offense.
He really does.
Look at that catch. Holy cow.
15 seconds left. The Panthers trying to score. You know, last week they had the game with Cy-Fair wrapped up on penetrations, but on the last play of the game they did kick a field goal because they wanted to win it outright. Anderson, you have nowhere to go this time. He's down at the 20-yard line with 7 seconds left. 6 seconds. The Panthers have some timeouts remaining if they want to use them, and now they do call timeout with 2 seconds left.
Did you see that play? Jordan dropped the ball. It was kicked. He reached down, picked it up, and knew exactly where his receiver was. Now, look at this. This amazes me. This is the discipline of Permian. Yesterday, they were running a dummy drill, no defense. Wilkins had his headset on and was messengering plays out to an offense that was not playing against any defense. He calls his team over. He is still coaching. because next year, this is the unit that's got to bring Permian right back to Texas Stadium or the Astrodome or wherever they play the championship, because you get the feeling, talking to the Permian people, that they really don't care much who the other club is, but by golly, half of the championship game is theirs.
Well, they certainly would like nothing better than to get a touchdown here on the last play of the game and at least get on the board. They did not threaten at all in the first half. In fact, they haven't threatened, period, when you get right down to it. They have not been down real close to the goal line this afternoon.
This is it.
This is it right here, 20-yard line.
Isn't that amazing? No penetration.
The furthest they've been.
There has been no penetration of the Yates 20-yard line today.
That's correct. Okay, this will be the final play of the game unless there's a penalty. Lobbed up down to the end zone. Lots of players there. Picked off at the 1-yard line, and that will be the end of the football game. Intercepted by the Yates Lions, Harold Tucker. So that'll wrap it up here at Texas Stadium in Irving. We'll come back with a final comment or two as the Houston Yates Lions are crowned the 1985 5A football champions. They defeat Odessa Permian 37-0. We'll be back.
Learning to read is...
State championship, how do you feel?
Fantastic.
So look real excited.
Not much, really.
Did they do anything that you didn't expect, that you were surprised by, Permian?
Not really. They were a real fine team. I think they played well. I think our guys played real well, and I think we were fortunate.
Good job, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Jay?
Okay, Teo, got Greg Anderson here. Greg, first off, you come into the game, you know you're going to have your hands full with them, and really they played as tough as you expected. Things just didn't seem to go right for you.
No, we just couldn't get any offense going on. The defense stopped them for, most of the game. It was just they just played exceptionally well, and I think if we could have done something with the football early on, I think it would have been a more tougher game, but they just ran away with us.
It seemed frustrating that you guys just couldn't seem to get it rolling. You'd get a turnover, you'd start moving, the defense or the offensive line didn't seem to give Jason the coverage he needed, and that kind of was frustrating and kind of kept you all down.
Well, we tried to keep them out, and I think they tried as hard as they could. I don't think any one of them didn't try to do it on purpose. Houston Yates was just a better offensive line, a defensive line. They just played an exceptional game, and you can't do nothing about that. We tried our best.
You yourself, your feelings on being you have more receptions than anybody in the history. So 73, I think, is the total number of receptions. Your feelings on that?
I don't know. My feelings right now, it doesn't do any good because we just lost the football game. But overall, I like it. I think it's good to have personal things like that. But as far as this team goes, it doesn't mean anything right now.
Okay, thanks. Back up to you guys up top.
All right, a very disappointed Greg Anderson. We'll come back with some final comments from Texas Stadium in a moment, so stay with us. Or two.
I don't know if we can put the season of Houston Yates into perspective.
That's tough to do.
659 points scored and 77 allowed. They're 16-0. They won one game by 6 and one game by 7, both over Jesse Jones High School. 2 games by 13, and today is the 12th time out of 16 games they won by 26 points or more, and the 8th time out of 16 they have shut out the opponent. This is a hell of a football team.
Fantastic performance today by the Houston Yates squad as they run away from Odessa Permian. Your final 37-0. We've certainly enjoyed being with you, and until next year, so long, everybody.